Educators are no longer considered professionals. Yep, I'm going there. That's right. The Department of Ed has determined that educators, along with nurses, architects, and a number of other professions, are no longer considered professionals. That means that those individuals that have unparalleled, unimaginable influence over the most important thing in this country, your children, are no longer considered professionals. So, what does that mean? Well, that's what we're going to be getting into today. Today's lesson, professional degrees. So before we start getting into what is a professional degree and what isn't, let's first understand what a professional degree is. According to the Electronic Code of Federal Regulations, a professional degree signifies the completion of academic requirements needed to begin practice in a profession. It requires skills beyond those of a bachelor's degree and generally involves professional licensure. Things like nursing, architecture, and teachers that have to pass a licensure test before they can become teachers, nurses, and architects. Such degrees are typically at the doctoral level, requiring at least 6 academic years of post-secondary study, including 2 years of post-baccalaureate coursework. They also fall under a specific CIP code aligned with fields listed in federal regulations. Now, the key word there is typically, which means that they often do fall in the doctoral level, but not always. So, what degrees are no longer considered professional? Nursing. Makes sense because some nursing programs are only 2 years, maybe 3 or 4. You don't really need anything else except for those licensures. I mean, after all, you can pass the bachelor in coursework, but if you don't have the licensure, you can't become a nurse. But that's okay because they're no longer professionals. Physician assistants, physical therapist, audiologist, the people that help those with hearing impairments, typically those individuals that are deaf and need assistance, they need licensure too. But because they're no longer considered professional, then they don't really need that licensure, I assume. Architects, the people that built the building that you're sitting in right now as you're watching this video. Even though they are technically professionals because in addition to their bachelor's degree, they have to pass a whole bunch of other licensure programs. They're not professionals. So anybody could be an architect. Accountants, the people that help you with your taxes and make sure that you don't get audited by the IRS. Yeah, they're not professionals either. Educators. Well, like I said, we've kind of covered that. And social workers, the people that help individuals that really need the help with social emotional needs and disabilities. Social workers are a key component to making sure that we have well-adjusted and productive individuals in our society. But that's okay because they're not professional anymore. These, however, are the degrees that are still considered professional. Medicine. Thank God for that. Pharmacy. Dentistry. Now, I'm glad that's still a profession because I wouldn't want my neighbor coming at me in a dentist chair. Optometry. Law. Veterinary medicine. Osteopathic medicine. Podiatry. Chiropractic. Theology. Those are the people that ask those really deep questions. Who are we? Why we're here? What is our place in the universe? Yep, that sounds professional. And clinical psychology. Now, a lot of the professions on this list, I am happy, are still considered professional degrees. But the list that has professions that are not considered professional, again, I would disagree with because those are just as important as this list here. So what does this mean? Well, students enrolled in certain degree programs may soon see reduced reimbursement support as the Department of Education rolls out key provisions of President Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill. A major component of that plan ties financial aid levels to whether a degree is officially classified as professional. And with college costs continuing to rise, tuition doubling over the last 3 decades, students in high-cost programs that are no longer considered professional could face greater financial strain. This raises fears that fewer students will pursue careers in critical sectors, including healthcare, education, and social services. So, in plain English, if you want to become a teacher, you still need to get a bachelor's degree. And you still need to pursue those licensures, but again, you're not going to get any funding for it. And for those of you out there that are saying, no, 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 that's not what it's saying. No, it's saying that if you want to pursue a master's degree or a doctorate degree after your bachelor's degree, you won't get as much funding. Well, that's true. But wait a second. Who are those people that run the school corporations? I mean, they make all the big decisions. Those people, what are they called? That's right, superintendents. And they need an advanced degree, right? I think it's like a doctorate. Oh, but unfortunately, they're not going to get as much money to pursue that. So there's probably not going to be that many superintendents in charge of school corporations anymore. Because again, if it costs a lot of money, well, they're not going to be able to afford it. So all those important decisions that affect your children, yeah, they're going to be made by somebody who really is not, you know, I don't know, really up to the challenge. Because after all, I mean, a superintendent is no longer a professional. So they don't necessarily need those advanced degrees. But the thing is that they do. I mean, superintendents, they have an important role. I mean, it's not like being president. But again, if I turn a lot of people off because of this video, I'm sorry for that. I don't want my channel to become divisive. But the thing is that when you start affecting real people's lives, that's when I start getting irritated. Because calling an education professional not professional, or calling a nurse not professional, or calling an architect not professional, well, that's unprofessional because those individuals are the backbone of this country. And by taking away that title of professional and treating them like second-class citizens, basically what you're doing is you're putting them not on a pedestal, but you're putting them in the lowest of the low. Educators, they deserve to be treated like professionals. They need to be paid the same amount as doctors because who do we trust with our children? Our children are the very things that are more important than our own lives. I don't know about you, but I would lay down my life for my child any day. And I don't just give that trust over to anybody. I want to make sure that the person that's educating my child is a professional and knows what they're doing. But because of this new plan and that teachers aren't professionals, that means that anybody can basically do it. And I don't know about you, but I don't think that's really the direction that we're going. And so if I turn a lot of people off from this, I'm sorry. But to me, I don't think this is making America great again. Now, if you liked what you saw, you learned something new, or you're new to the channel, please click the like button. And if you want updates on future videos, feel free to click the subscribe button and ring the bell for updates on future videos. And if you have any questions or comments that you'd like to share, please drop a line in the comments section and I'd be happy to talk to you. Now, please keep it civil because again, one of the biggest problems I think in this country is that we don't talk to one another. We like to condemn one another and point fingers and demonize the other side. But we've lost that ability to debate without making it personal. So if you have questions or comments, or if you want to debate this, by all means, drop a line in the comments section and I'd be happy to talk to you about it. But if you just want to be negative, or you just want to say that I'm wrong or that I'm evil, then I'm sorry that you feel that way. I can't change your mind no more than you can change mine. So hopefully this has been a learning experience for you, and don't take my word for it. Go out and research it yourself because after all, education is a key component of our children's future. And the more you investigate and the more you're invested, the more likely our children are going to have a bright future. And until next time, class dismissed.